Taking a look at CleanSpark today, price is really ping-ponging around in this bull market band, and it is narrowing. We do have this volume shelf as well, giving us a nice bit of support, so it's going to be quite hard to break down below this. Bear in mind, it's also the weekend, and Bitcoin normally has a pump. It didn't for a while, but last weekend it really started back up again. We also have the Bitcoin conference this weekend, so that's something to bear in mind. Upside potential, obviously, we can see this red line here. That's been pretty good, consistent resistance. So a 20% move there to get back to that level. And downside, we've got this Fibonacci level at $15. And then below that, we've got really nice confluence here with the wedge and the historical resistance. The RSI is flat. We did have a golden cross, which leads me to the bullish side on this one. And flow looks like it wants to turn over as well. Pretty much an even split between whales and retail, so not too much going on there. If we look on the weekly, again, we're seeing this in quite a lot of stocks right now. Well, aside from mega caps, they're getting quite rangy, starting to pinch really hard. Could probably move this trend line a bit more this way. But this volume shelf is giving us really nice support. People really want to buy this stock at this price. So can't hate that. Obviously on the weekly, we've got a lot more whale action. RSI is still neutral and flow is flat. So overall, the chart to me looks very bullish on this. But I've talked about this before. CleanSpark price is it's not necessarily a true reflection of what Bitcoin does. It's a bit of an elastic band. It will go too far either side, which gives us a good leverage play in the bull market. So it will be around 2 to 3 times more action than Bitcoin. I did want to mention that earnings are coming up on Tuesday for this one. I've talked about this a few times. Price for CleanSpark isn't purely determined from the Bitcoin price. It is impacted by ongoings within its company. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's all going to rest on their EPS and their revenue if they beat or whatnot. A lot of people will be looking at their stack, how much they're growing. They want to hear about their plans to scale up. CleanSpark, as far as I know, have really been pretty good at that in that area. Obviously, Mara's come out with the news now that they're going to buy a huge amount and they're going to hodl everything. So I'm kind of tempted to grow my Mara position quite a fair bit as well. Don't like the company as much, but I like the new decisions they're making. We'll take a quick look at the open options interest for CleanSpark. I'd only like to use the short time frame on these ones, not the long dated ones, because they will be past the cycle peak, so not really reliable as an indicator unless you're looking for the short side. We do have this level here though, $18. That's going to be quite a tough level to beat on here. And then again at $20, which is close to where I'd like to see price action get in the coming weeks if we do have a pump. To the downside, not much going on, not much support here. So if we do have a break to the downside, it's probably going to be more based on the chart prices. But if we take a look to the week after earnings, pretty much rangy. No really clear set targets here. Like I said though, options not a really good indicator for this one. It's worth a little look, but I wouldn't rely on them too much. Now for the exciting one that I'm sure everyone's really waiting for, Bitcoin. I talked about this a little bit in my weekly wrap-up last week and the weekly chart wrap-ups. I wanted to see price kind of pause a little bit on this purple resistance line. And it has done so. It's had a nice little pullback. That's perfect. We don't want to see things power through here. At the very least, a break out of here and then a pullback would have been warranted. But I'd like to see it break here so we can really get some energy on this breakout and really clear this area. It's used this bull market band as a nice little bouncing area. We had this nice little wick out of it. And then obviously we've got the volume level here. So this looks pretty bullish to me. If we have a pop at the weekend, next break would be this yellow high level of 73,911. And then above that, obviously, we've got the measured move here to the Fibonacci level. So that'd be a really good confluence area. But that's quite a substantial move. So I wouldn't expect to do that in one day. So don't get your hopes up too high. But could be nice to see a breakout above this yellow level, a little pullback or back test, and then breaking out to the next side. That's not to say it's not capable of making these large moves, but I'd prefer slow and steady wins the race instead of having to be range bound and cool off price a little bit. RSI is hot, but not incredibly so. We do know it can get up to the 90s, mid 90s range. Price was overbought in this level, but then we had the pullback, so that's kind of cooled off a bit. The golden cross has been separating, so that's quite bullish. Again, it's used a lot of energy on this move here. We had this really nice double tweezer bottom off from the golden Fibonacci level, so that was a really good level. If you didn't buy there, I don't know what to tell you. That was an amazing buy level. And flow is kind of pausing a little bit here. If we take a quick look at the weekly, this hammer, that's incredibly bullish. So even the weekly chart looks really bullish to me. Again, we're looking at the same targets for a bullish move. This yellow line and this Fibonacci level. If we do break down though, we've got this really broad bull market band that we'd have to break down below. So that's going to be a really nice resistance within those ranges. And obviously Fibonacci will be a really good support again. So if we ever did get back down to that, I will be a very aggressive buyer again, like I am whenever we're under the bull market band and flow is flat.